Hi, this is Mark.
And this is John.
And
we're the Armchair Thinkers.
So the media's perception is Hillary won in a huge landslide, 64 to 27, but that's among their focus group. Let me just say, we do think that Hillary won. And the main reason was that Donald Trump's dirty laundry was exposed. He didn't file his taxes. Something about a model being fat. His stance on Obama not being born in the country. Those were all aired out. While Hillary Clinton's scandals, her email scandal was mentioned in a sentence. There was nothing about the Clinton Foundation. Nothing about Hillary's corruption or her speeches.
You wonder if something went on behind the scenes, because there was really very little, and it was obvious, like you knew what Trump could have done, but there was very little about crooked Hillary. All that stuff that he was saying during the campaign, virtually absent, and while Hillary was mostly on the defensive mode, perhaps the main reason why she didn't trounce Trump, she at the same time held her ground very well, whereas Trump seemed very unsure of himself, a little less articulate than he is, mostly not that he is that articulate, and all of this stuff basically combined to make him look very weak and actually a little bit scared.
Yeah, and he did look scared, and like I said, all of his stuff was exposed, so, and he was rambling on about all of his defenses, how he was, against the Iraq War from the start, and, when you heard his responses, you just knew that he was lying, because it didn't make sense.
When you look at what he was saying that was supposed to be in favor of him, like, oh, I've opened this business on Pennsylvania Road, and, we finished ahead of schedule, really? You're going to be that vague? I would fact check even that. But, no matter what the case is, the guy clearly doesn't have much of a case for why he should be president, whereas Hillary, in spite of her many ethical flaws, has a great case for why she has experience.
Hillary actually seemed more human than normal. She seemed a lot like Kitty from that 70s show doing that thing laugh, but it seemed human.
It seemed like she was at least pretending to be human this time, although I would question the acting job personally. I remember she was kind of laughing. A lot of those laughs I felt were kind of fake and forced that she was performing. But she was kind of laughing, when, Trump was going on about how poor her experience was. And she said, look, I've negotiated this deal. I've worked out this with all of these Middle Eastern governments. I've done this and this and this. Don't you tell me that I don't remember the word. Stamina. The stamina. I think at the end of the day, what you notice with this is Hillary going on the defensive but having a very firm case, basically anticipating what Trump would say about her and defending herself very well. Whereas Trump didn't go on the attack as much, which is probably what Hillary expected, and I think maybe the reason why he didn't go on the attack. It actually limited what she might have been able to do to Trump in this debate, but it was almost a shame from Trump's point of view that he didn't push those tactics further, because Hillary was going to respond in that way anyway. He might as well have thrown a bone to the people that would have been on his side in the first place.
Based on what we said, we think that an accurate polling should be somewhere in the neighborhood of 60% Hillary, 40% Trump, or somewhere in that area where Hillary has a slight edge. What's interesting is CNN is reporting their own poll by, the people they've selected, who probably are college-educated Democrats, right? And they admit that more of them are Democrats.
Yeah.
And then the online polls, where you see the enthusiasm gap, where you go online, wherever you are, and you just click, and then your poll results are in. Those are favoring Trump by 10 points, even though he lost the debate. More people are saying that he won it when it's just a click, and that shows something else we need to talk about, which is the enthusiasm gap.
Yes, the people who are Hillary supporters, like you mentioned, I think a couple of videos back, really kind of need a reason to want to vote for her. And while we felt that she was very good on the defensive, she didn't really give us that reason during this debate. It was holding her own, and that made a big difference, but it wasn't the trouncing that we thought.
She went over it like her entire policy in like 2 sentences. You know, we're going to give away college education. We're going to do family leave. And then that was about it for the policy in the entire debate.
We said that depending on who wins this debate, we would be able to call who the next president would be. I personally am fairly confident saying that Hillary won the debate, and it looks like she will probably be on the road to becoming president, but we also want to caution that it has been overstated by the media for their very specific reasons why it wasn't the clear victory that this debate should have turned into, and it was basically because of both candidates' anxieties. It was very personal, but it was also very defensive. There are lots of things that could have happened during the debate, lots of points that could have been brought up that weren't brought up, and I feel there was a reason for that. So we still need to watch this campaign very carefully.
I don't think it's actually over. I thought it would be, but here's the thing. At the end of watching that debate, if I'm voting for Hillary, I still don't expect that 8 years from now, after Hillary's been in power for 8 years, my life's going to be better. So she has not made the case that she has a solution to the economic problems. And that's why I still say, we don't know what's going to happen yet.
At the end of the day, it was an interesting debate to watch, but I believe that the candidates are on the defensive. And for that exact reason, the campaign is, as we said, is going to be a close one, but might even be a lot closer than we anticipated, partly because of the defensive kind of vague game that Hillary is still playing, and also because the Trump supporters are just like sticking with them through thick and thin. So definitely grist for more videos yet, and a fascinating ride all through this election campaign.